Hey, greetings everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. It is Monday morning. The weekend is over. I have a new release that I'm really excited about, and I picked up 4 CDs that I'll tell you about in a few minutes that are kind of interesting. First of all, the artist Cat Power. I don't know how many of you are aware of her, singer-songwriter-ish. Her real name is Shawn Marshall, I believe, but she spells Shawn C-H-A-N, like Chan, but it's pronounced Shawn. I first became aware of her when I saw her in the kind of documentary thing that Jacob Dylan did, Echoes of the Canyon, about Laurel Canyon. And I really loved her voice and the stuff she was into, and so I picked up a couple of her albums. I guess I would probably suggest of her solo albums, an album called Moon Picks, what I think was her first album, and an album called The Wanderer, which I liked. She just released an album on Friday that I have been very excited about it since I heard about it. Cat Power went to England, to Royal Albert Hall, did a live performance of the original Bob Dylan set from 1966 from that famous tour, one of the most famous tours ever, where he got booed and called Judas and all that kind of stuff, backed up by the band who were called the Hawks at that time. And so she took the set list that he basically used every night on that tour and just did it pretty close to the same versions that Bob did, except with Cat's voice, her phrasings, her renditions of these great songs. So here's the album, Cat Power Sings Dylan, the 1966 Royal Albert Hall concert. I just bought the CD for now. I probably will buy the vinyl on this. There's Royal Albert Hall. I like the way this was packaged. As soon as I opened it up, it comes with a little booklet, which is very cool. She's got the lyrics to the songs in here, very interesting. It's the first time I've looked at it, really, other than just opening it. I was working all day yesterday and got home last night at 6 o'clock, and it was sitting there waiting for me on the steps from Amazon. Came out Friday, I got it Sunday. So that's pretty cool. I like the way the CDs are. They're actually in a sleeve, which I think is very rare these days to do something like that. Especially when you're in these cardboard things, when the CDs get scratched coming in and out of it. Very thoughtful. I like that. There's the disc. So I will be spinning that today. If you go on YouTube, she's been releasing tons of tracks from it on YouTube. Just check out Cat Power /Dylan, and you can give it a listen. But from what I've heard, I haven't listened to too much of it. This is one of the most exciting releases of the year for me. Okay, so I'm at my daughter Stephanie's house on Saturday, visiting our beautiful granddaughter Juliet. And my daughter says to me, "Dad, I got a whole crate of CDs in the basement I'd found. I want to get rid of them. Do you want to go through them?" So I went through them, and she says, if there's any that you want, take them. And she said, "What should I do with them? Can I trade them in?" I said, "Well, let me go through." So most of them are like 90s stuff. I mean, my daughter's 38 years old, so she was into the boy bands and all that, NSYNC, Madonna, a lot of that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, these things were well used, and a lot of them were not trade-inable. You know what I mean? The discs were scratched, and I know that used shops aren't going to take them, so I kind of separated the pile. Told her which ones I thought she would take. She only had like a half a dozen that would I thought were suitable for trading in, and the rest were like, give them to a thrift store. But I found 4 that I wanted Number one, I found this, and I've never seen it before. I'm sure it's only because I probably wasn't looking. But Dark Side of the Moon, still sealed. And this is a weird version of this because it's a 2-disc set, and it comes with live at the Empire Pool, Wembley, London, 1974. Now, didn't Pink Floyd just release this as part of that big 50th anniversary set? Am I wrong? I don't follow Pink Floyd that closely, although I'm a fan, but I just, So I'm a bit confused. This has already been released. I'm excited to hear it. Pretty cool. I'm going to open it right now. This thing hasn't been released for however old this CD is when it came out. I'm sure that's when they got it. So let's see what's going on here. We got ourselves, it's like an envelope kind of thing. Oh, interesting. Then we get ourselves that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Cool cover. Then we get ourselves Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Give this a spin. I haven't listened to Dark Side of the Moon forever. Well, that might have been... So it says it's a 2011 remaster. Anybody who's heard this, let me know your thoughts. Is it well regarded? Then we got Dark Side of the Moon live at Wembley, 1974. Yeah, 1974. Try to see if it comes with a book or anything. Here we go. Right in the middle. I love the packaging on this. It's very well done. Let's see if it says anything in here. Just to record at Empire Pool, Wembley, London, November 1974. Remastered 2011 by Andy Jackson at Tube Mastering. The rest is just pictures and lyrics. Does not really give any information other than that. But, hey, I'm going to revisit Pink Floyd. Okay. Now, the other things I got here are not in my wheelhouse. But my daughter suggested I try them. So I'm going to do that as soon as I figure out how to get Pink Floyd back in its envelope. Okay, come on. I'll do it later. Okay. Canadian band, Arcade Fire. I'd heard one of their CDs before. I can't remember what it was. As a matter of fact, I think somebody gave it to me. And I don't seem to have it anymore. I don't know if I traded it in or what. And I did like it. So I'm kind of interested in hearing this album. Again, if anybody's aware of this, I believe this must be their first album. It's called The Arcade Fire. So kind of an alt-rock band, I think you would call them. Make sure the CD's in there. My daughter had a ton of CD cases with no CDs. They were just missing. It was weird. REM. I'm an REM fan, and I saw this CD sitting there. New Adventures in Hi-Fi. I grabbed it, and to my surprise, it's one I didn't own. So I got lucky. I think it might be the only REM CD that I don't have. Again, I've never heard this though, so I am not sure where this falls in their canon. Whether it's highly regarded, one of their more weaker albums. Again, would love some feedback. My daughter suggested I try this album. I've heard the name of the band. I don't have a clue who they are, what they are, anything other than the band is called Audio Slave, and I got an Audio Slave CD. She suggested I give it a listen. So, are they one of them Seattle bands? What do they call them? With Pearl Jam and all them. Why do that name kind of ring a bell with that? I'm drawing a complete blank on what they call that music. Anyway, Audio Slave. Again, let me know what you think. That's all I got for today. We started an exciting new series on Larry's channel, Larry Graves' Canadian Stud Muffin. It's an album exchange. Now, you guys who follow Larry and myself know that we get together on a regular basis and do a CD exchange, 5 CDs back and forth. We come home, listen to them, come back and review them. Over the years, we've given each other some great stuff. We did a similar thing on Rich Strickler's channel where there was a group of us who did it. Then Rich kind of retired from the vinyl community doing music videos for now anyway. And always hope Rich comes back. So Larry and I decided it was time to branch out again. I think we get to a point after doing it for a couple of years where we're kind of running out of ideas to give each other stuff. So it was time to broaden our horizons. We had a few people who were interested in joining us, and so we started a little group here of people who are doing an album exchange. Myself, Larry, Steve from All the World's a Stage, Marsha P. from Marsha P., and a gentleman by the name of Cliff Levine, who's actually a podcaster. And I am going to write the name of his podcast down underneath this video because on the top of my head, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, we recorded our first episode yesterday, gave each other an album to listen to. So the way it's working is we all put forward an album that we would like people to listen to. Then you get to choose which album you want to listen to from the 5 albums that are picked. So really 4 because you're not going to pick your own album. And once you've picked an album from one of the people, you can't pick an album from them again until you've picked one from everyone else. So over a period of a month, 5 weeks, whatever, everyone's going to get their an album listened to. We're going to keep track of like a ranking to see how people rank the album that you put forward and kind of make it a little competition. We had a lot of fun yesterday with it, first episode. I think it's going to get really good once we start presenting an album and reviewing an album. Yesterday it was just a presentation. So check out the first video on Larry's channel if you haven't done so already. And every week look forward to a new video. It's kind of cool. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back soon.